Test, 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 test.
Okay, now we are recording. Hi, everyone. Today, it's our first time testing this out. It's going to be AOTT, Adventures of Team Taco, podcast number 1. My lovely wife and I have been thinking about doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Right?
We have. We think that it could help. We think that it could help people that have the same questions that we usually talk about and the same the topics that we talk about.
Mm-hmm. And the reason we want to do a podcast is because we want you to be in the conversation with us. This is going to be a conversation that is completely normal, a normal conversation that we have. And it's we'll try to keep it as, real as possible in a sense that, you're sitting right next to us in the at the kitchen table discussing all these things about life and child rearing. So that's what we're looking to do.
Yes.
And we want to share that with you and hope that you can glean some insight and some, maybe should I say something you can take away from this to improve not only your relationship with your partner, but
with their family.
Exactly. And child rearing. So today, I'm going to start us off by we want to talk about sleep with our little daughter. And that's been something that's really kind of and not only that, like
challenge.
Yeah, it's a kind of a sore spot, right? And so maybe you can kind of talk to
so when it comes to sleep training and having your kids sleep, I mean, it's a big topic. I've seen countless videos on this topic, and to be honest with you, it makes me more confused because there's one side that believes in co-sleeping and co-sharing, and there's the other side that believes in crying it out, pretty much. If I were to just separate into two. And yes, there's a whole spectrum in between, but those are the main two topics, or the main two sides, should I say. And so, I was always, in the beginning, I was very anxious about having my daughter sleep so that she can get better rest, so that it would be good for the brain development. And because more sleep equals brain development. So I was really honed in on trying to have her sleep more. I mean, in addition for our sleep as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to say, as parents, it's been hard to get sleep, right? She sleeps with us.
Yes.
And it's fine. I really enjoy. I think we both enjoy.
Yeah, we really enjoy it. I do.
Yeah. Having her next to us. But she does maybe she wakes up twice.
Yeah, once or twice.
Right.
Yeah, once or twice. But maybe more so only because before we get to sleep, she wakes up once or twice.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then by the time we sleep, she either sometimes she won't sleep, like sometimes she won't wake up until like 6. And sometimes she'll wake up once. So it really depends, I guess. So anywhere from 1 to a few.
Right.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, I've been able to kind of sleep through those, but I know it's affecting my sleep, and we've been talking about we've been lacking sleep, and I'm just not myself.
Yeah, and our mind is not as clear as it used to. It's like very cloudy.
Brain fog, right?
Yeah, brain fog. Yeah, and fog. It's one of those things where, you're just like, okay, what should I do? And you just kind of go back and forth. But I think we made a pretty good I guess unilateral, not unilateral, but we have we have the same idea when it comes to sleep training our daughter, and that is to say that, we tried the cry it out method, like Ferber method to be exact, for maybe one day, one night to see how she takes it, and she is, she's just. As parents, you just know if it's going to work or not. And I know these people say, you have to just commit to it for a week or so. But
Right. Yeah.
I think we know our daughter enough to know that it's just not going to work for her. She's more of a emotionally attached girl that needs us a little bit more in that. She needs a little more TLC in that sense. And we just knew that it's just not going to work for her. Hence, co-sleeping.
Yeah, and I think that is, as parents, this is kind of how we see child rearing. Raising a child is, each child has their own kind of personalities and needs, right? So for her, this Ferber method is not good. And for some, we would probably be able to see, even if they cry, we would probably be able to tell and say, okay, this child can handle it, right? But when we tried with our daughter, it just we knew that this is definitely not
it was just not going to work.
Yeah, this is not good for her.
I mean, we really tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
And so, we've been sleeping with her, but again, because she does wake up, it's been pretty tough. And just recently, aside from all the world's events and things like that, you haven't been feeling all that well, like physically.
Yeah.
And
no.
For myself too, I just have a lot of stuff on my mind. I run a business. And not only that, although this portion has been settled down, my wife is a ICU nurse and taking care of COVID patients. She had been taking care of COVID patients. And of course, that added another layer of stress. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because you're just like, am I going to bring it home? Am I going to spread it to my family? There's all these underlying stress and just things that you start to worry about.
And luckily for us, we've talked about that. And I feel a lot better now. Like even if you're out there taking care of COVID patients, whatever happens, it'll happen. And I just that worry it's a lot better for me. How about you?
Me too. Yeah, it kind of alleviated. Like I'm okay with taking care of COVID patients as long as I know that I have the proper equipment. I'm totally okay. Totally okay.
And so, we had that stress, but, coming back to current, we just, sometimes there's not only just mood swings, but kind of a longer, so if we say a mood would be a state and let's say a stage is something that's much longer, right? So a life stage could be a decade or even longer. But for us, it's kind of like not, let's say a mood can be like a few minutes to maybe a couple of days, right? And then the next level, I don't know what that's called, but I think for me, I've been kind of just off for the past month and a half, maybe even 2 months, something like that.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, same here. Like I've been just, if I have to put a word to it, I've just been lazy. It's interesting. It's like it's all coming out. Like I don't know if it's because of the pandemic. That's all, or everything else that's happening. Not only the pandemic, but everything all just combined together. And this is probably how I'm coping with it. Which is an interesting way to cope with it. But yeah, just laziness.
Yeah. And, that also opens up a whole new topic that I would love to discuss, maybe not in this podcast, but talking about how this pandemic is bringing out all the issues that we need to work on personally. And we've been working on it, but it's not easy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I want to bring back the topic of the sleep. And you had brought up a really good point about my wife has been reading this book called Brain Rules for Babies. Is that what it is?
Yes, it's called Brain Rules by Dr. John Medina. And there's a section, it's a really good book. I think I would recommend it for everyone. It's very science-based. So if you want to know the science behind a lot of things, then this would be the book for you. And so there's a section about sleep, and he talks about how there's the co-sleeping side, and then there's a whole cry it out side. And he was pretty much saying, you know what? It doesn't matter which side you pick as parents. You just have to pick one. I mean, you make the decision. Like, this is your child. Like, you are the one that makes that decision, and you don't have to stick to it. I mean, you can stick to it if it works. If it doesn't stick to it, then you can always change. And he was talking about how having a child is parenting is trial and error. So it kind of made me feel a little better. You know, he was like, it's trial and error. If it doesn't work, then you just try another way. Not every kid is going to be the same, and they're not going to react to the same thing. I mean, if you think about it, your siblings are all different, and they were brought up by the same parents. So if you think of it about it that way, it might make a little more sense. But he was pretty much saying, you know your kid, you make the decision, and it's a trial and error. So don't worry about it. You know, don't put too much stress on yourself.
Yeah, I think that's really great because obviously for those that have children, I would say probably most children are, you have difficulties raising them. And I would guess, maybe our daughter is a little bit more difficult in terms of the sleep aspect.
Yes.
But to know, as being the parents, it is important that we are very attentive to their needs, especially when they're so young. They can't really communicate except for crying and maybe sign language. We started to teach sign language and things like that, but it's really difficult to communicate. So we have to be really conscious and awake to their needs. And I love it when you say, if it's not working, try something else, because I was watching another video by Wyatt Woodsamal. He's a NLP, neuro-linguistic programming master. And he was saying, hey, this is not necessarily for raising a child, but more so, for example, if you're working on a business and you're trying something, if it doesn't work, why are you continuing to do it? Do something else. And it really dovetails very well with what you said. And I like that. I like that. Yeah. Why do you keep on hitting your head on the wall when you can just sidestep that and continue walking forward, right? So that's what we've been doing. Right?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. And I think it's been working. I mean, and John Medina also said, you know what? In regards to sleep, don't worry. Your child is going to eventually learn to sleep on their own for the whole entire day or for the whole entire night. So
I'm looking forward to that.
I know that was a little bit of a relief. I was like, oh, I don't know when that'll be, but he was like, it's going to come. Every child eventually learns, like every child learns how to walk. Like, sometimes kids might be super early, they might be a little delayed, and parents are a little worried when it's more delayed. So, but they eventually walk. So you don't have to really worry about that. So it's with the same concept, with sleeping throughout the whole night, it's just going to come. So, but it made me feel a lot better to read those words.
And I felt better hearing that from you. And, just not only that, having you feel better, I feel better too, right? So, that's why I think we wanted to do this podcast and just share the things that we're going through right now. And maybe we can share what we've done, kind of the sleeping arrangement, because we made a change just last night.
We did. And so we're in a queen size bed right now, and our daughter loves to move around and kick my husband all the
Oh
time.
yeah.
I mean,
I've
to a
been
point
injured.
where, yeah, I mean, to a point where he's not able to sleep for hours because she's just kicking him like I guess intermittently.
And she has a strong
She
kick,
does.
so she she really has good aim, and her heel can land directly on my eyeball, and I see stars. So it's not good.
Yeah, no.
And she'll kick my face, no problem. The funny part is, so she sleeps in the middle.
Yeah.
So it's my wife, my daughter, and myself, and she likes to sleep sideways. So if you can imagine the letter H, she's the middle, the line, and she's either punching my wife or kicking me, and it's cute, and I mean I don't mind it, but I actually do worry for my own
Your
eyesight.
vision.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, because she does kick pretty hard, and so we decided to move her to her own bed.
Yes. It's pretty much it's pretty much a crib, but a toddler crib. So we built it yesterday, and we set it up, and then we like placed it right against our bed so that it's pretty much connected. It's practically the same height too.
Right. So what you can do is visualize a toddler or the crib without the front portion.
Yes.
And so the back and the sides are
Intact.
built. Right,
Yeah.
right. And then the open side is connected directly to the side of our bed.
Yes.
So she can move freely into our bed and into hers. But when she's sleeping, she has all the room to move within her bed. So
Yes.
yesterday I
Yeah.
was able to, I think it was a little better.
Yeah. I felt like I had a lot more room because I'm pretty constricted when I'm, when we were sleeping with her, because I'm
Right.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So we've also been thinking about, okay, so should we go with a king size bed?
Yeah.
And for me, I just want, it'd be nice to have a different bed. So that's why I was kind of pushing for it. But, honestly, I think even if we have a king size bed, she'll find a way to.
Yeah. She's just.
So I think right now, how we have it is it's
Yeah.
been working.
Yeah, the arrangement's working. She just needs to get a little used to the crib. So, in time, I think she's kind of getting used to it, though.
Great.
Yeah, little by little. I
Right.
mean, sometimes
It's
she's
only
like,
day 2, right?
yeah,
So,
she's like, sometimes she's like, no, I don't want to sleep, and she cries and whimpers. But
yeah, I think little by little. Hopefully, she's happy that she has her own,
I
own
know.
bed too.
Although this afternoon she seemed pretty content. Like she was like kind of jumping on the crib.
Okay, great.
And she's
great.
like, oh. And she was kind of having fun because the mattress is a little more bouncier than ours. Yeah,
okay.
because ours absorb.
Right.
But that doesn't, it bounces a little bit more. So I feel like she was having fun with that. So hopefully
Good.
she understands that is her bed.
Right. Well, so yeah, that's something that we've been a new change that we've had within the sleep. So another thing is, maybe you can share this too, is she does need milk in the morning, is it?
Yeah, like 6 in the morning ish. Like
Okay.
6 sometime. At the latest, she'll wake up around 7 for milk.
Okay.
That might be a normal thing, but sometimes she'll just wake up in the middle of the night too, wanting milk, and you're just like, why do you need milk?
Yeah.
So I think the bottle is somewhat of a comfort. So I even tried water. We tried water for a few days, but she really won't sleep if you give her water.
She knows.
She just knows. I don't know what it is. See, NLP, it's already programmed into her. She needs NLP. Anyway, but yeah, she just knows. She's like, no, this is water. Like, but she'll still drink it. She'll drink a good bit of water, and then she'll try to go to sleep. But she's like, I mean, at by the end, she's just like, no, this is not what I want. So she'll be kind of moving around for an hour, and then eventually we'll have to give her milk because she's like, no, this is not what I want.
Right.
And then after the milk, she goes to sleep.
Yeah, and one tip that we could give you, the listener, if this is something that you've been going through, my wife had been kind of waking up and going to the kitchen to get milk for our daughter, waking herself even more up during the process. And so what we decided to do is have a cooler bag, put ice in there, and then fill the bottle up with milk so that she doesn't have to wake up, go to the kitchen, just she can roll over, open the bag up, and then give the milk to our daughter so that it's much easier for her too. So we're really trying to figure out how can we more efficiently do things, right? So that it benefits everyone. Because if mama gets more sleep, dad is more happy. And when dad is more happy, he can spread more happiness to
mama's happy.
Our daughter, and it's just a cycle. And hopefully, if you are in this situation, maybe you can take this tip and run with it.
Yeah. And just, I guess, piggybacking off of that, even if you have a newborn, what we used to do is we used to put all the diapers on the head of the bed, the diapers and the wipes. So if they wake up or they pooped or whatnot, you can just change them on the spot. And you don't even have to get out of the bed. It's just right then and just right there for you.
Right.
So that kind of helped us. So it's another idea that you guys could use if it works for you guys.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's totally fine. But that's something that works for us.
Yes.
And it's made things more efficient and easier.
Oh yeah. I just kind of reach over and just give her the milk. And then she goes to sleep. Luckily, she's not one to stay up all night or stay up. As soon as she has her milk, she goes to sleep. So
yeah, totally.
That helps.
So yeah, that's something that we've been doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
So yeah, I hope for those that are struggling with their child's sleep habits during the night, I hope this podcast helps. You're not alone.
Definitely not.
You're not alone. And we're with you.
Yeah,
we're with you.
And I think we didn't mention this, but our daughter is 15 months old.
Yes.
So just to give you more context to where we're coming from, she's not 3 months old or anything like that. She's 15 months old.
Yes.
A young adult already.
Yes, she is.
But yeah, so thank you very much for
thank you
listening till the end. Please let us know, what are your tips and tricks in regards to baby sleep.
Yes.
Please feel free to share with everyone, and let's make this a conversation.
Yeah, what has worked for you? Let us know.
Fantastic. Okay, everyone, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye-bye.